So, okay, welcome finally to the third live stream of the Iron King's Heir, where we're playing as a sole heir to a Tyrant King's throne. So, we're partway through chapter 1 right now. We are playing a certain Princess Penelope. She is a little bit aloof, we're playing so far. She's a little professional distance from her servants. And all we've done so far is we've ridden to the dock in a carriage to meet our betrothed for the first time. And so far, we like our betrothed and we're thinking of keeping up with the marriage. That can all change down the road. But the dock just exploded and our guard is trying to take us away. So that's where we are. Whew. Okay, let's actually start reading now. So, we've reached a checkpoint. I just added those recently. Okay, so Garrett's trying to pull us up. Everything's chaotic. And he's saying, "Your Highness, please, we cannot delay." Garrett's grip on your arm is getting dangerously tight, but he is not yet prepared to forcefully drag a royal away. You are fairly certain if you dig in your heels, he will give in, but he could get in quite a bit of trouble for neglecting his duty. On the other hand, is it not your own duty to care for your people, and your people are in danger? And, yeah, we were saying we gotta stay at the docks because I want to get us injured. Yeah, nobody tells me what to do. I will remain exactly where I am. That's a choice I'm going with. We're doing a little bit of repeat from last time. We did actually do these last time, but that's okay. I will not be dragged around like a horse. Your Highness, you silence him with a hand. Do not argue with your future queen. Garrett's jaw hardens, but he knows better than to argue with a royal. As it pleases her Highness, he says. He remains close to your side, sword at the ready, eyes scanning the area for danger. Mirabelle too remains, eyes wide, her body trembling. She will not be of much use here if she can't pull herself together. You may return to the castle, you tell her. At your words, Mirabelle steels herself, her eyes harden in determination. Oh, why does she still like us? Oh my gosh, my place is at your side, your Highness. I failed. Okay, whatever. Sorry, guys. I tried to get us injured, and I zoned out and chose the wrong option, but I'll just try test a different day. Okay, so Mirabelle likes us too much. Whatever. She's coming with us. Okay. Your father also remains. He rises to his feet before anyone can help him, his eyes ablaze. Fool, he growls to a nearby guard who is just finding his own feet. Help the prince. The guard does not move at first. He sways on his feet, stunned and useless. King Osric snarls at the guard and pushes him over as he takes a few quick steps to Prince Connor's side. The prince groans under the weight of the mast, his eyes glazing over. He is barely conscious. Without hesitation, King Osric grips the mast in both hands and lifts. Every muscle strains and bulges. Sparks and smoke shroud him like some hell beast ripping at the foundation of the world. For anyone else, the task would be impossible. It may yet prove to be so for your father as well, but he looks so fearsome you can't help but wonder if he might pull it off. Meanwhile, the fires tear apart the dock, creeping ever closer to the city. Soldiers and commoners alike have fallen into the water, flailing helplessly, either unable to swim or burdened by too much armor. Many will drown. Everyone needs help, and you do not have the manpower to do it all. The question is, how will you be most useful? I think I'm still experiencing some comment lag, so I usually let other people decide what we choose, but with all the other technical issues, I didn't have time to figure out the lag thing, so I'm just gonna choose random stuff here. So our options are, I have the physical strength to help out and I intend to use it. Option 2, I've always been a quick thinker. I am sure I can use that to my advantage. Or option 3, my skill set lies in observation. Someone planned this and they may still be a threat to the nobles. I'm going to go with we're a quick thinker. Think that was a more popular option. Okay, but who will you help with your keen intellect? Our options are: Father, if the prince dies, repercussions will be catastrophic. And the second option is: the people of Thestria are my top priority. Yeah, we're going to save the people of Thestria because if we're not going to get injured, I at least want the prince injured, and this is how it gets done. Okay. You run past your father, straining at the mast, and straight for the edge of the docks. Soldiers are starting to fill what undamaged rowboats they can find, but the process is slow. Many will drown before they can be hauled out of the water. Help me keep them afloat, you yell, finding a small wooden crate and tossing it in the direction of the soldier whose head is starting to sink below the water. Grab on! He fumbles to find a hold, but you are relieved to see it carries his weight. You move on to the next victim, sliding a broken wooden plank in his direction. Garrett and Mirabelle quickly see what you are doing and follow suit. You toss crate after crate, plank after plank, to those who need it most so they can last long enough for the rowboats to save them. Fast as you are, there are too many drowning. You will not be able to save them all, but every life is a victory. And then there are no more to save. Everyone in eyesight is either safely in a boat or gripping a makeshift buoy. The rest are below the surface. Mirabelle crosses herself beside you. The only thing left to do for those souls is to pray. All told, you managed to save a small number of soldiers and civilians, but while you have been playing the hero, your father has been left to save your betrothed on his own. You hurry to King Osdrecht, whose every muscle is strained and bulging as he lifts the mast not even an inch from Prince Connor's chest. Sweat pours off his forehead as a guardsman drags the unconscious prince out from under the beam. As soon as he's out, your father drops the mast with a loud thud, and you can feel... Oh, yeah, that's a glitch. You can feel reverberate. Well, I gotta fix that. I'm just gonna take a picture with my phone because I didn't organize this well enough to have a system for correcting that. There. Low tech, but we're done. I'll fix that later. Where were we? With a loud... Oh, maybe it is right. Man, I think I just misread that. Okay, I'm going to read that again. As soon as he's out, your father drops the mast with a loud thud that you can feel reverberate through the deck under your soles. Okay, that wasn't a typo. Sorry, everyone. King Osdrecht bends over in heaving breaths. You crouch to Prince Connor's side. In the time it took your father to pry the mast loose, the fire spread and singed your betrothed's right side. The blisters travel up his arm and neck and into his formerly pristine cheek. But he is alive. His breathing is shallow and strained, but present. For the sake of your kingdom, at least, that's a very good thing. Your Majesty, look out, Garrett cries. You turn to him and see Garrett plunging his sword into the chest of a man whose dagger was aimed right for the king's neck. Your Highness, Mirabelle screeches. You whip around to face a second attacker, just in time to step back from the flash of his dagger. If not for Mirabelle, he may have struck true. He still might. You are weaponless and defenseless, dressed for a celebration, not for a battle. All you can do is back away as he slashes at you again. He never makes it. In just a few thundering steps, your father closes the distance between you. He doesn't bother drawing his sword. Instead, he catches the man's dagger arm mid-thrust and redirects the blade into the man's own chest. Your assailant topples to the ground, then stills. Before he stops breathing, Garrett is back at your side and scanning for any further threats. Then King Osdrecht turns to you, his bulk dwarfing you, his eyes alight, but he does not yell at you. Rather, he turns his attention to Garrett. Guardsman, why is my daughter in the middle of a battle zone? He says. If you didn't know him so well, you could mistake his even tone for calm, but you know he is anything but. So does Garrett. To his credit, Garrett does not cower or back away, though he keeps his eyes down and every one of his muscles tenses. Forgive me, Your Majesty, he begins, inclining his head with one hand to his chest. Her Highness believed we would be in a better position if we stayed on the dock. And you let her? A bead of sweat forms on Garrett's temple. You are fairly certain he knows better than to place the blame on you, even if the situation is entirely your responsibility, but he has to say something to the king. Unless you step in, of course, but that would put the target right back on you. In the absence of any other input, I'm going to accept responsibility. Will be nice. Oh yeah, I'll read out the options though. Option 1, I say nothing. It's best that his ire fall on Garrett instead of me. Option 2, father will know I was responsible unless I demonstrate otherwise. I pin the blame on Garrett. And option 3, which is the one I'm selecting, this was my responsibility and I will accept all blame. Garrett starts, but you don't let him finish. The blame is mine alone, you say. Garrett insisted on escorting me somewhere safe, but I pulled rank. King Osric's glare keeps shifting from you to Garrett and back again before settling on Garrett. And whose rank is higher, mine or my daughter's? Yours, your majesty, he says, head bowed low. Oh, I got a comment. Enjoying from Japan. I do want input on the choices, but I think there's a lag. I'm glad you're liking it despite the mess. Yeah, so feel free to try to send your input on the options, and if there's magically no lag, I will take that into consideration. But there probably will be lag. If you have the foresight to just say things that you want to see our character do in the future, I can maybe take that into consideration. But alas, lag is lag. I'll try to figure that out for another time. Moving on. Okay, so Garrett's all sad, and Osric saying, you should have dragged her, kicking and screaming, unconscious if you had to. Of course, your majesty. Your father's hand tightens on the hilt of his sword, and you wonder if he is going to kill Garrett then and there. But after a moment, his hand loosens. We'll deal with this later, Osric says. Get her home, guardsman, and next time you pull a stunt like this will be your last. The trip home is uneventful. You take a nondescript carriage to avoid drawing attention, with Garrett on horseback close by. Then you're there. The guards must have recognized Garrett and your coachman, for the iron gate is already groaning open, and you hardly have to slow down to pass through. Soon you're on the other side, and the gate clanks shut behind you. Before you, Westshale Keep dominates the crest of the region's tallest hill, its spires and battlements towering over the whole of Dritchhaven, providing a clear view of the capital and its surrounding settlements. The castle is first and foremost a fortress, and no enemy army has breached its walls in the 500 years that it has guarded your people. But it is also home, with its grand sandstone archways that you have walked under your entire life. Red and gold banners with the white bear of Thestria flap in the breeze, and you breathe in the familiar spicy sweetness of the wallflowers growing aside the stone wall. In the almost 17 years you have lived here, the grounds have hardly changed. You could almost believe you are safe here. Almost. Garrett remains vigilant, riding alongside your carriage as it pulls up to the castle's oaken double doors. He eyes everyone in sight, determined that neither guard nor gardener should approach without his express consent. When the carriage rolls to a stop near the entrance, he dismounts and helps you out, followed by Mirabelle. Allow me to escort you to your chambers, your highness, Garrett says. I mean, if you get this in time, you could tell me if you want to flirt with Garrett or not. That was probably the next big choice, is who we want to pursue in this game. Anyway, moving on. I'll keep reading. When you arrive, Mirabelle and Garrett go ahead of you into your bedchamber to make sure everything is safe and ready. They peek out windows, peer behind curtains, and poke through closets, anywhere an assailant could hide. Garrett removes the tray of sweets from the table by your window, which seems a little unnecessary when your staff already takes precautions against poison, but you don't fight it. You're not used to having men in your bedchamber. Usually, Mirabelle takes care of everything, and it is strange seeing Garrett going through your dresses in shifts. A touch of pink in his cheeks is the only hint that he might find this task too personal for comfort, but he moves professionally and methodically and makes no comment. Oh, the comment from Christiane. Let's go for it with Garrett. I'm worried something sad will happen to him, though. I mean, it's possible. No spoilers, but gotta play your cards right with these things. Okay, flirting it is. We'll get there. We also flirted with the prince, but whatever. We can flirt with both of them for now. Okay, when they are convinced no dangers lurk in the corners of your room, they rejoin you in the antechamber. Everything is ready, Your Highness, Mirabelle says. Is there anything else I can do? And our options are 1. Actually, yes, I would like a private word with you. 2. Not from you, Mirabelle, but I would like a private word with my guardsman. And 3. No, I just need rest. You are both free to go. Well, Christiane has voted that we flirt with a guardsman, so that's what we're going to do. So we're choosing option 2. Not from you, Mirabelle, but I would like a private word with my guardsman. Mirabelle raises a mischievous eyebrow, but voices no concerns about leaving you alone with a man. I will be ready if you need me, Your Highness, she says with a short bow. Then she departs, leaving you alone with Garrett. Garrett visibly tenses as he watches Mirabelle leave the room. This is his first time alone with you, and he has reasons to be nervous. Not only is he a man of honor, but one whose job and very life could be at stake if he were accused of acting indecently with the crown princess. And yet he has no choice but to obey a direct request from you. As soon as the door closes behind Mirabelle, Garrett begins. Permission to speak, Your Highness. Of course. What lies on your mind? I wanted to thank you for defending me to the king. I only spoke the truth, you say. Truth often demands bravery, he says, and I won't forget it. But surely that is not what you wish to talk to me about. What else would you like to talk about? You have plenty of time. I think I'm just going to go through all of these systematically because, we have the time. So we're going to start with option number 1. Please, we have known each other for too long for such formalities. Boom. I insist you call me Penelope. Garrett raises his eyebrow in surprise. As you wish, Penelope. You know what? I'm actually going to do something quick. I recently added a mode that repeats your last choice to you. And I want to see how it looks. I'm not going to read it twice. That would be tedious. But yeah, we'll see how it looks. Anyway. Okay, so what else do we want to talk about? Option number 2. I wanted to thank you for today. You saved my life. There. See, we have the little repetition mode up there. I'm curious what people think of that because it's a lot more work than I thought adding it in, but theoretically it might help appease both types of players. Some people like knowing what they just chose and some people don't. Here we have the handy back button on COG demos, but if it ever went on hosted games, which frankly it probably won't for various reasons, but if it ever did, they don't allow you to go back. So it's nice having that reminder of what you just said. Anyway, so we just said, I wanted to thank you for today. You saved my life. I will always guard and protect you, Penelope, he says, for as long as I am able. Ooh, comment. Christiane likes the italics. Well, that makes 1. That's good to know, though, because I kind of like it, too, but it was a lot of work. Anyway, so we're saying back to Garrett. Thestria is fortunate to have a guardsman as loyal and capable as yourself, you say, but let us hope to avoid further incidents. I would prefer neither of our lives be placed at risk. Garrett's eyes light, and he stands a bit straighter. You are generous, Penelope. I will strive to live up to your kind words. I have no doubt you will. I think if we've treated him meaner, it says a bit. we're a bit meaner here. It automatically makes you say something like, well, yeah, you're my guardsman. Obviously, you're going to protect me. That's kind of your obligation. It's your job title. Here we're a bit nicer. Anyway. Okay. Now for option number 3. We're going to say to him, did you notice anything strange today? Other than, the dock exploding, I guess. Garrett thinks for a moment before saying, I don't know what else I could add, Penelope, that you did not see yourself. Although I did miss the High Marshal's presence, he surely would have kept our soldiers in line, and he would have more insight than me. Quite. His presence was surely missed, you say. Although with everything else that occurred, you did not actually notice that High Marshal... Oh, man, I spelt Marshal wrong again. Anyway, that High Marshal Mercurius was not present, but now that Garrett mentions it, his absence does... Oh, his absence does stand out. That's 2 typos in one little paragraph. That's bad. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of that and fix it probably tomorrow morning. It's both Garrett and Marshall. I always spell Garrett with 1 T and mess up the code, and Mercurius, I honestly can't even remember. I think it's spelled with 1 L normally. Anyway, whatever. I'll fix that another time. Mercurius is a busy man, but today is an important day, not to mention a dangerous one. What could have drawn him away from such a momentous occasion? What would you like to talk about? You have plenty of time. Okay, the next option is, who do you think could have planned such an attack? Boom. Surely Her Highness has advisors much better suited to answer that question than a lowly guard. But I am asking you. Garrett frowns in thought and shifts on his feet. He's the kind of person used to fading to the background, to being treated as a soldier, not a thinker. Someone unused to sharing his opinion. Any number of factions would want to see Thestria's royal family harmed, rebels for one. Yet you do not believe it was they, you say, noting his tone of voice. They have never planned anything like this before. Something doesn't feel right. There's always a first. True enough. Either way, I would prefer not to place blame without a thorough investigation. A wise decision. I'm curious how the mystery is going to pan out. There's a few mysteries to solve in this game, and the challenge of writing it the way I'm doing, where I'm giving people a rough draft before I sharpen it up, is I think I made the rough draft a lot more obvious than it will be by the time the game's released. So I'm curious of how quickly people will figure out what's going on. Anyway, moving on. Our next question to Garrett is, what do you think about the king? Oh, we're so mean to Garrett. It's just, imagine being a guard and being asked that. Anyway. I am just a humble guardsman. It's not my place to pass judgment on the royal household. Even so, surely you have some opinion on his leadership style. Penelope, I am a loyal servant of your household. I will die to protect you and your family. That is enough for me to know. You sigh, realizing you won't get any more out of him. At least he's dependable. And the last one. We're gonna flirt. We're asking him, do you ever think we could be something more? ... For a moment, Garrett stares at you with open confusion. Then his jaw slackens when he realizes just what you might mean. Penelope, I'm not sure I fully catch your meaning. I think you do, Garrett, you say, taking a step towards him and tilting your head. And I think you feel it too. When you edge closer to him, Garrett does not back away. If anything, he is resisting the urge to close the distance. The way his dark eyes look at you with tenderness and hope tempered by honor confirms it. He wants to be near you. Penelope, I don't know what to say. I'm just a guardsman and you're a princess, betrothed to a prince. Pain pierces his eye. His eyes, plural. This is something he's thought about before. You close the distance between you with a single finger, tracing the etching on Garrett's breastplate. Sorry. Before we started this session, I I said that we were going to marry Prince Connor, so this is a little brutal. Anyway, we say back, of course I still have to marry Connor. I have no choice in that, but I do not love him, and I do not see why that should keep us from enjoying each other's company as long as we're able. Sorry. I misled you. This isn't a good flirt option. Not when we already decided for sure that we're going to marry Connor. Anyway, moving on. Garrett's eyes darken and he steps back, leaving your finger to float in the space between you. I take marriage seriously, Your Highness. His meaning is clear. He will not be some toy you play with on the side. At least, not willingly. Well, you know what? Before we start the next live stream session, because I always have to replay this every single time and I always forget what choices I make. Maybe I'll do it different so that we don't make Garrett mad by openly flirting with two people. Yeah, if we had selected earlier that we're undecided or that we for sure don't want to marry Prince Connor or whatever, then the text here is a little bit different, where it's like, hey, I don't actually want to marry him, and like maybe something else could work out, and he's a little bit more receptive to that, although still kind of nervous because he could die. Anyway, moving on. Garrett may not want to be with you now, but surely you could persuade him. Yeah, Christiane says, it's interesting hearing about the different text options. There's a lot. It hurts my brain how many there are. But I'm glad you find it interesting. I kind of have a feeling you don't want to, force him into a relationship. So I'm going to go, oh yeah, our options are, I'll read them out. Option 1, you would reject the affection of your future queen. Option 2, I know I haven't always made the right choices, said the right things, but if you'll give me a chance, I know I can change. And option 3 is, please, Garrett, forget I said anything. Yeah, I'll admit, I'm still not sure what to do about that first option. Like, I don't know how, I'm not super comfortable writing like an actual forced relationship. Like, I'm not going to write like rape or something into this story. That would be really unpleasant. But it felt unrealistic not to let you have that option. Like, when you have power, the temptation is definitely there. Like, I don't know. The whole game is about power dynamics, so it felt like maybe you should, but rest assured, I'm not going to let it go too far. This isn't going to be like I forget what the term is, but it's not going to be like it won't go too far if we try and force him. I'm not 100% sure where it will go, but it's not going to be a good option. Anyway, we're going to say that we haven't always made the right choices, but if you give me a chance, I know I can change. He frowns and opens his mouth to say something, but you are quicker than he is. You're not sure you want to hear what he has to say. I do not expect an answer now, and I will not push for one. Just think about it, will you? He nods and closes his mouth. At least he doesn't seem to hate you. And that is the last option we have for him. Let's read this comment. Christiane says, I like the option to be mean for sure. It's giving free will and could lead to interesting consequences. You don't have to take it too far, even if people choose it. Well, I appreciate that input, and I do agree. I feel like, so Mirabelle also, she's kind of like the counterpart to Garrett. Yeah, so they both, they're definitely distinct people, but they have similar romance paths, being like the two servants that you can possibly romance depending on if you're a prince or a princess. And if you push either of them, like both of them are made of pretty strong stuff, so they might like play along to a degree, but they're not gonna let you push them too far, which you're right, might have interesting consequences. We'll find out. I have a lot of this story planned, but some of it is as they say it in the writing communities, I do pants some stuff, just make some stuff as I go, but I do have a general idea for some consequences that might happen if you try and force them, or even maybe there could be a nice plot where you start mean and And then, I don't know, Beauty and the Beast style, you let them go and they come back to you. I don't know, like, so many options, and everything takes so much time. Moving on. Okay, so we have nothing more we wish to discuss. So Garrett bows and departs, leaving you alone in your quarters. You sink into a lounge chair in relief. The day has already been so long, and it's not even half over. And that is the end of the chapter. So I'm going to stop here. And thank you for joining me. And for putting up with all my technical issues along the way. I'll have to... Yeah. I get a little better every single time I do this, but today was a bit of a gong show because there's just a few bad things happened at once, and I really wanted that timer, that countdown. That was the thing I figured out for this time. Next time I'll try and make sure that my Dropbox isn't glitching out, because I prefer to do this in my code, and I think it's more fun because I can have the code open while the the game is open, and then you can actually see what I'm working on, and we can look into the code and see all the different options and what we did wrong and whatever. Anyway, that's for another time. Once again, thank you for joining, and once I figure out how to end the live stream, then I'll catch you in the next one.